Welcome back. Welcome to Von Blues Boxing. And today it is Wednesday, I believe, August 12th. And yeah, I know I got the mask over my face. I'm about to go finish, just came back from a run and stuff. So I'm keep it on. I might go take a walk just to kind of, relax my muscles. And then what I want to talk about is the past fight on Saturday. It was a good fight, with some good fights on there on the card, on the PBC card. And I want to talk about David Morrell first. David Morrell against Lennox Allen. That was a good fight. That was a really, really, really good fight. And I enjoyed the fight. Yeah, I mean, it was a good fight. Even though David Morrell was controlling and dictating the pace and stuff, Lennox Allen did make him, you know, show other dimensions. And David Morrell shows he's just not a banger. He can box. He has, some good footwork. I wish he would stay behind his jab a little more, pump that jab a little bit more, and, stay behind that a little bit more. But all in all, good performance from David Morrell. He had Lennox Allen was a lot better than what I thought. And yeah, he tested him. Yeah, he made David. I mean, he didn't test him, but he made David have to use other dimensions to get the win and get the fight. So, all in all, good win for David Morrell. He is in there. He might get a title eliminator to fight Callum Smith, I believe, who's the WBA champion right now in the super middleweight division. So yeah, and yeah, good win. And then Jamal James, I was really impressed with his win because earlier on, Jamal kind of got, was fighting that Thomas Delorme range, you know what I'm saying, fighting in the inside and stuff like that. But once he got to the mid-rounds, he started making adjustments. He started staying behind his jab, which I always think he should do. He's 6'2". He's a tall, rangy guy. That's huge. That's very tall for the welterweight class. So I think that's just, he did good. He showed good footwork. He stood behind the jab. He put his punches together from the outside, which I think could be more devastating because he's getting all his torque and all his range and his length and his arms. And it was just a really good win for Jamal James. And now Jamal James, I think, will probably fight Udanias Ugas again. And then that would make them, that would be the WBA title eliminator. And it would be a mandatory to Manny Pacquiao or whoever's the WBA champion by the time they had that fight. So look out for that. Jamal James, and I think Udanias Ugas is going to fight a second time. Or he might get lucky and might get a Keith Thurman. So it's a good fight. And then August 15th is Romer Angulo versus David Benavidez. We already know about that fight. I talked about that. So David Benavidez is going to fight Romer Angulo this weekend on August 15th. Like I said, I got David Benavidez. Pretty clear decision. His decision. Also, we got Rolly Romero versus Jackson Marinez. And that's a pretty good fight right there. And so yeah, we will be watching that. That's for the vacant WBA interim 135-pound lightweight title. So we got Rolly Romero versus Jackson Marinez. He has Marinez. And I watched like 2 fights of Jackson Marinez. He's going to be a little more difficult for Rolly than what we think. I think that fight is going to be a lot more competitive and a lot more closer than what we think. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's honestly going to win that fight. The favorite is Rolly, but I don't know because Jackson's got some skills and he's got some things that he does pretty well. And yeah, it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be more competitive. It's going to be a lot closer than what people think. Then we got Otto Wallin versus Travis Kaufman. And the return of Otto Wallin, he's been out for 11 months. And he will be fighting Travis Kaufman. And I'm going with Otto Wallin, 8th round stoppage. And yeah, so that's going to be like the main important fights on that PBC card. I'll be watching that fight. And then we also got the same day, we got on Top Rank on ESPN Plus. We got Carl Frampton versus, I believe, Darren Trainer and Michael Colin versus Sofane Takachat. I cannot say that man right. And Archie Sharp versus Jeff Affordey. So, pretty good. So, I'm going with Carl Frampton over Darren Trainer. I think Carl Frampton to get him out of there about 4th or 5th round. Anywhere from the 1st to the 5th round. It's just a tune-up fight. It's a replacement fight for Carl Frampton. Carl Frampton should win this one easily. Then we got Michael Colin versus Sofane Tuchuk. Chuk. I cannot say that man lane last name right. Good step up match for Michael Colin. I think Michael Colin will get the decision. I think he'll win a unanimous decision. Then Archie Sharp is fighting Jeff Ofori. I never heard of Jeff Ofori. I need to check him out, but I think Archie Sharp will get him out of there within a few rounds. I'm taking Sharp in that fight. And then for what I was reading about Rolly Romero and Jackson Marinas, possibly the winner could fight Robert Easter in a title eliminator, because Robert Easter is #1 in the WBA rankings. And then there's this guy, Francisco Pantera, and I think that could put him. I think Rolly could fight him just to stay active and have, a good opponent still ranked in the top 5 in the WBA. Now, Francisco Patera, he's not known, I don't think he would, I think Rolly would beat him, but, that's another opponent after he fights Jackson Marinas, and Jackson Marinas is actually ranked higher than Rolly. I think he's actually 6 in there, and Rolly's like, or is he 6 or 7, and Rolly's like 8th or 9th. So yeah, that's the card for this weekend, and yeah, so I'll definitely be watching that. Get my little pre-fight analysis after that. Like, I'm pretty quick about it. I don't get too crazy in depth or nothing like that. Just what I saw and just what I go in there. And yeah, pretty much that's it, guys. I'll be watching the fights on Saturday, so definitely, man, check me out. If you like the videos, you know what I'm saying, you want to check me out, talk more about boxing and stuff. I got some more topics I'll probably get in tomorrow. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to give a quick synopsis on Jamal James and David Moriel and the fights I think who I picked my winners already. So yeah, that's it, man. And y'all have a good evening. Be safe and be cool. Von Blues Boxing, baby.